Then after that, get married. Finally.
Finally, you can get married.
Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to our channel with me Nindi and
Luca.
so today we're gonna talk about some important information that you probably need. About what? What kind of information is this?
About wedding in Indonesian.
What you mean? About mixed marriage.
Iya, Italian, Indonesian.
Is it complicated?
So complicated. And so long.
So this information will be useful if you probably will marry an Italian or foreigner maybe, because more or less what you need to prepare probably will be just the same, right?
Yeah, India.
Okay, so let's get to the list. So now we already prepare so many lists of what to do and what to prepare before you move.
Before and after.
Yeah, not only move but also move because you will get married. So not only move for working, but this is for a marriage. Okay, so let's get to the list. First is what you need to prepare when you are still in Indonesia. So before you move here, there are so many documents that you need to prepare and bring to Italy. Okay, the first is parents permit atau surat izin orang tua. Karena gimana ya, bagaimanapun kan kita mau nikah di negara orang, jadi pastikan kalau orang tua kalian itu tahu. You have to make sure that your parents know that you will get married abroad, so it's not like a runaway bride and groom.
Good.
Make sure your parents know about your plan and they give the permission about your marriage. Even though they're not coming here, it's okay, but at least you bring the permission letter from your parents. That's the first. It will be legal, right? But the Italian doesn't need parents' permission, right?
Here, no.
Only the Indonesian. Okay. That's the first. And then the second, you have to go to the municipal, or kalian pergi ke kantor catatan sipil. Oke lah, nggak apa-apa kalian belum pernah nikah, tapi bagaimanapun kalian harus ke kantor catatan sipil dan minta surat pernyataan dari kantor catatan sipil bahwa kalian itu belum menikah atau lagi single atau sudah bercerai. Even though you are not married yet, anyway you have to go to the municipal, right? Just to report if you are really single and have the rights to get married.
Okay.
Also you take the marital status, right?
The free status.
Yeah. Jadi also in Italy he got the free status from the municipal that declare that he is single and have the rights for the marriage. Or unless what?
You cannot.
Jadi pastikan status kalian itu lajang, free, lajang ya, bukan dibalik kata-katanya. Pastikan kalian lajang, free, dan emang boleh menikah. But there's the age regulation or no here in Italy? Like you can get married after you are some years old.
18 years old.
18 years old.
Yeah, only some particular case 16, but
Particular case like?
if you have a baby, suddenly something like
okay.
that.
Jadi kalau kalian mau menikah dengan orang Italia, pastikan kalian cukup umur. Minimal umurnya adalah 18 tahun. Oke. Kalau di bawah itu ya karena special case gitu. Tapi yang dilegalkan adalah yang minimal berusia 18 tahun. 18 years old is the minimum
Yeah,
legal age. And then this you have to note down, yeah, or you can just pause and write down because there are so many things you have to prepare. Number 3, you have to provide your birth certificate for me, and you also prepare the birth certificate.
for later, but yeah,
How you get your birth certificate?
from the municipal.
Okay. So basically in Indonesia everyone have their own birth certificate, right? Like my mom keep my birth certificate. But in Italy no one have their birth certificate, so they have to go to the municipal.
You can just ask when you need. No need to keep at all.
But you have to explain or no, like I need my birth certificate for this reason.
Not really.
Jadi itu bedanya. Kalau kita, ini nomor 3 kan kita butuh akte kelahiran yang asli. Nah, kalau di kita kan kita pasti selalu punya dong akte kelahiran, entah disimpan mama papa atau kita sendiri yang simpan. Kalau di Italia, mereka tidak simpan akte kelahiran. Jadi mereka harus ke catatan sipil, terus mereka minta saya butuh akte kelahiran dong, bisa tolong diprintin nggak gitu. Jadi ntar cuma dikasih print and they will only give you like a print of that, right?
Yeah,
Like only,
directly.
like only a piece of paper.
Iya.
Ya, begitulah bedanya. Kalau di kita kan di kertas tebal, dilaminating. Kalau di mereka ya udah cuma di print aja gitu di kertas lembar. Sangat simple, very simple here. And then the next, you will need family card. Here also you need family card or no?
Status of the family.
Yeah. Jadi kita butuh kartu keluarga or family card. Kalau di Indonesia kan ada tuh, pasti orang tua kita punya lah, kakak nggak mungkin nggak punya. Demikian juga dengan calon suami atau calon istri, mereka juga harus menyertakan kartu keluarga. Where you can get that family card?
Same from municipal.
You didn't keep?
No, we don't have.
Okay. Because also in Indonesia we have.
No.
Nah, jadi nanti daripada kalian bingung, sampein ke pasangannya kayak gini. Nanti kamu ke munisipal atau ke catatan sipil, minta status keterangan single, minta akte kelahiran, minta juga kartu keluarga. Itu biar nggak bolak-balik. Jadi minta 3-tiganya langsung di munisipal atau catatan sipil. Kemudian ini juga penting adalah KTP atau ID card. Also you need the ID card, right?
Yeah, but that I have normally.
Yeah, of course. And kalau KTP, usahakan KTP-nya itu yang baru. Maksudnya yang keluaran terbaru lah, jangan yang expired dikasih gitu. Kalau misalnya ada KTP seumur hidup ya lebih bagus lagi gitu. Jadi kita butuh ID card kita atau KTP kita. Kalau misalnya hilang ya diurus dulu ke kantor polisi, bikin surat kehilangan. Yang penting kita harus punya si ID card ini. Bukan cuma paspor ya, tapi ID card juga penting gitu. Terus kemudian yang keenam, the sixth, we need passport of both the groom to be and bride to be. Jadi pastikan before make sure before you move to Italy, you already have passport. And okay, we didn't take care of this together actually, right? I mean, you take care everything in Italy and me take care everything in Indonesia, right? Jadi waktu kita berdua mau nikah itu kita nggak bareng ngurusnya karena dia juga kerja di Italia, aku juga kerja di Indonesia. Jadi ya udah kita tukar-tukaran copy passport nih. Please scan your passport. That time I asked you like that. Right?
Yeah.
And then I also send him my data complete like that. So you need ID card and passport of both of you. Jadi disiapin dua-duanya, KTP sama paspor kedua calon pengantin ini, begitu. And then there's a invitation. What's the name?
Invitation letter.
In Italian?
Lettera d'invito.
Okay, where you can get that actually?
And you can download from internet the standard form.
Also available.
Yeah.
For free.
Yeah.
No need to
Then
pay.
then you can download the standard, compile, fill all the field.
Yeah.
And then you have to certificate your signature at the municipal. For the certification you have to pay like 16 euro.
Gitu. I thought no need to pay.
No, only for signature,
To authenticate.
to authenticate the signature.
But that only for the marriage, or you can also use for like tourism purpose. Like someone will come here, your friend, and you will be their sponsor.
Yeah, you can use also to invite for other purpose.
Okay.
And with that document, you have to do this bank guarantee.
Okay.
How to say? You don't have to pay, but you have to allow the government to take money from your bank in case you do something wrong. Or in case you stay here more than your visa.
I get it.
So actually you don't have to pay, but guarantee that the government can take the money.
Okay, I get it. Jadi,
And more or less are 30 euro per day.
30 euro per day.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, jadi yang ketujuh tadi ada invitation letter atau surat undangan. Ini bisa di-download dari internet, but which web that you use to download this?
It's enough to put on Google.
Lettera invito, like that. Okay. Jadi cukup masukin keyword lettera di invito on Google. Nanti bakalan keluar beberapa website yang menyediakan formnya atau formulirnya. Itu diisi, kemudian dibawa you bring to the municipal this form.
Yeah, for the authentication.
Okay. Terus bawa formnya ke kantor catatan sipil. Berarti tadi ada 4 ya. Kalau pasangan kamu Italian, dia ke municipal ini untuk minta akte lahir, kartu keluarga, terus status single, sama minta legalisir atau legalisasi dari invitation letternya. Udah nih 4 ini dari catatan sipil semua. Udah kan? Udah dilegalisir, berarti itu kamu menyatakan bahwa kamu menginvite calonmu yang Indonesian untuk ke Italia untuk menyelenggarakan pernikahan. Nah, terus setelahnya kamu ke bank nih, minta bank guarantee. Kenapa pakai bank guarantee? Tujuannya adalah untuk memberi akses pada pemerintah. Jadi kalau kalian stay di sini melebihi batas yang ada di visa kalian, pemerintah bisa nge-charge kamu langsung gitu, bisa potong uang langsung dari rekening kamu. Dan itu kira-kira 30 euro per day, per harinya 30 euro gitu. Jadi di bank guarantee, what's written on the bank guarantee? It's guaranteed that you will be responsible.
Yeah, for you. And they can take directly the money if they think that you do something wrong.
Oke. Jadi fungsinya dari si bank garanti ini adalah sebagai jaminan bahwa pasangan kita bersedia menjadi sponsor selama kita stay di sini, dan ketika kita melakukan sesuatu hal yang salah atau kita stay di sini melebihin batas visa, pemerintah punya hak untuk langsung potong uang dari rekening pasangan kita. Okay? And then when you already prepare all of those documents, you can go to the embassy and ask them about the legal translator that approved by the embassy. Jadi semua dokumen kita tadi, surat izin orang tua, kakak, akte lahir, KTP dan lain-lain, itu harus kita translate ke bahasa Italia. Begitu. Jadi sebelum kita berangkat ke sini harus ditranslate dulu ke bahasa Italia, harus dilegalisir sama penerjemahnya, harus dilegalisir sama embassy-nya. Wait, I'm gonna pause a little. I think I have. Jadi semua dokumen tadi yang udah kita siapin, mulai dari akte, kemudian KTP dan lain-lain tadi, itu harus dibawa ke penerjemah legal yang ditunjuk oleh kedubes Italia yang ada di Indonesia. Ini gini, sampel. Nah, ini contohnya. Kayak ini kan status single yang dikeluarin dari catatan sipil, status bahwa aku single. Nah, di belakangnya ini kopian sih ya, nggak apa-apa ya. Di belakangnya ini tuh ada keterangannya bahwa ini sudah ditranslate dan dilegalisir oleh si penerjemah, dilegalisir juga oleh embassy, terus ada capnya juga, terus ada stikernya juga. Ini aslinya stiker dan berwarna ya, cuma ini fotokopian, so it's okay. More or less like this, right? Oke, terima kasih dulu Pak. Gitu, jadi kalian harus ngecek juga setelah kalian translate, kalian harus minta dilegalisir sama kedubes Italia yang ada di Indonesia. Alamatnya di Menteng, kalian bisa googling. Kemudian, nih kalau udah dokumen yang tadi udah siap semua nih, urus visanya. Ini sebenarnya bisa sambil nyicil-nyicil ya. It's still in Indonesia. Before you go here, you have to prepare the visa. Without visa, you cannot enter here. The name of the visa is Schengen, right? The type is C. The type is C, but the area is Schengen.
Yeah.
Yeah. With that Schengen visa, where you can go?
All in Europe.
Exact.
Yeah, there's like Switzerland that you can opt, and Turkey. That.
Okay. So Schengen is more like the visa for Uni Eropa, Uni Europe. Jadi gitu. Kalau misalnya kalian mau kesini, siapin dulu visanya. Kalau aku waktu itu pakai tipe C, kemudian areanya itu Schengen. Jadi aku bisa jalan-jalan ke seluruh Eropa, nggak cuma stay di Italia. Cuma perhatikan juga kalau ada beberapa negara yang nggak bisa dikunjungi dengan visa Schengen. Gitu. Jadi ya pay attention sedikit lah di situ. Jangan sampai kita udah kesana terus ketangkep karena nggak ada visanya gitu. Minum dulu, gue haus. Italian go to Indonesia, you need visa or no?
If you go for work, yeah, you need.
Okay. But only for holiday?
Tourist, no, only
But maximum
recently.
1 month.
Yeah.
Okay. Recently what?
I don't know if change or no. No.
Ah, okay. I hope no. So before you come here, you have to prepare the visa. And there are some things you have to prepare to make your visa. It's the bank statement. Kalian harus cetak rekening koran selama 3 bulan terakhir. Dan saldo yang ada di rekening kalian itu minimal, kalau aku waktu itu sekitar 35 juta. Nggak tahu ya kalau sekarang udah bertambah apa belum gitu. Tapi karena kalian mau nikah dan tadi ada si proof of sponsorship, ada for the visa, when I applied for that, you have to make sure that you have some balance on your bank account. So you have to ask to the bank to make the bank statement. Kalau di Indonesia kita bilangnya rekening koran. Jadi kita minta rekening koran dari 3 bulan terakhir sampai ke bulan yang paling mendekati waktu keberangkatan kita. Gitu. Jadi misalnya kita berangkat ke Italia bulan Februari, ya kalau bisa si bank statementnya itu sampai Februari awal lah, kayak gitu. Jadi 3 bulan terakhir, terus saldo minimalnya 35 juta kalau aku dulu, kalau sekarang aku kurang tahu berapa, but because we have proof of sponsorship atau bank garansi dari calon suami, dan kita juga punya letter, invitation letter, so the amount of your bank account might be less than that. Jadi karena ada si sponsor sama ada surat undangan dari calon suami, saldo yang ada di rekening kita bisa aja kok kurang dari 35 juta itu tadi gitu. And then the second important thing to apply the visa is travel insurance. There are so many travel insurance in Indonesia that you can apply, like AXA. Here also AXA available. AXA and ACA. You can use one of that as you want. Biasanya itu the travel insurance, how to say, the cost for travel insurance is based on how long you will stay here. Oke lah, kita kesini tuh bukan sebagai turis, tapi karena kita mau nikah. Tapi however, kita harus punya travel insurance just in case something happen to us, like if we are sick, if we got accident, amit-amit ya, jangan sampai. Jadi tetap ke cover gitu loh, apa namanya, biaya pengobatan kita, atau mungkin kalau kita kecelakaan ya adalah yang cover gitu. Kalau aku waktu itu apply untuk 3 bulan, kurang lebih biayanya itu 1,5 jutaan. Nggak tahu ya kalau sekarang gitu. Biasanya untuk apply travel insurance seperti aku bilang tadi itu tergantung berapa lamanya kita bakal stay di sini. Dan itu prosesnya sangat gampang, kita tinggal datang ke ke penyedia jasa asuransinya, terus bilang aja kita mau keluar negeri dari tanggal sekian sampai sekian, terus aku butuh travel insurance. Nanti mereka kayak bakal siapin formnya, terus bakal siapin ya form sih, lebih ke form, terus kita bayar, terus kayak 3 hari, maksimal 3 hari itu udah jadi si travel insurance-nya itu. Sangat mudah dan sangat cepat. But if you go abroad, you need travel insurance or no?
No, normally no.
But what if something happened to you?
If you want to be, say, covered, better you do, but normally no need.
Oh gitu. Oke, itu bedanya. Kalau di Italia tidak harus, tapi kalau kamu pengen safe, kamu pengen merasa aman, ya sebaiknya tetap apply. Terus syarat yang ketiga adalah ID card. Lagi-lagi butuh KTP ya untuk apply visa ini. Kita butuh KTP kita yang masih valid, yang belum expired. Kalau ada yang seumur hidup ya lebih bagus lagi. Kemudian kita butuh akte kelahiran lagi, yang ori. Terus yang ori, yang realnya, bukan yang fotokopian aja gitu. Terus kita butuh kartu keluarga lagi atau family card juga. Jadi semua itu tadi dari bank guarantee, terus habis itu si KK, KTP, akte kelahiran, itu semua disiapin. Terus butuh juga paspor kita, ya untuk mastiin lah, paspor kan ibaratnya international ID ya, kita butuh itu gitu. Ketika di sini KTP kita kan nggak laku, jadi pastikan paspor kalian belum expired. Kalau udah mau expired ya diperpanjang dulu, gitu, karena itu penting buat apply visa. Terus butuh juga flight ticket, booking confirmation-nya. Biasanya sih kita pasti bertanya-tanya ya, kita udah beli flight tiketnya, kita udah booking tiketnya, tapi kalau visanya di cancel gimana gitu, atau visanya nggak di-approve gimana ya, hangus kan gitu ya. Beberapa sih, misal kalian udah pasti bakal berangkat, ya udah kasih aja booking confirmation-nya gitu. So I think better you have to make sure that you are really ready, financially ready, and documents ready to go abroad, just in case. To minimize the probability of your visa being declined, right? Gitu. Jadi pastikan kalian tuh siap secara finansial dan siap secara dokumen buat mengurangi kemungkinan visa kalian tuh nggak di-approve, gitu kira-kira. Terus yang terakhir harus ada booking confirmation hotel atau tempat kalian menginap di sini gitu. Waktu itu aku tetap kok pakai booking confirmation hotel, walaupun aku nggak nginep di hotel ya, aku nginep di tempatnya suami aku waktu itu gitu. Tapi kan ada tuh beberapa booking directory yang bisa kalian tuh booking tanpa harus bayar dulu gitu. Kalaupun bayar ya cuma buat sekedar garansi aja, nggak langsung dideduct dari kartu kreditnya. Dideduct, how to say, like in some booking directory, it allows us to book but not pay first, right?
Yeah.
You can also use that instead of really book the hotel. Jadi itu semua syarat untuk visa. Kalian harus sediain itu semua, dari KTP, KK, akte kelahiran, paspor, statement bank, terus bookingan tiket pesawat dan bookingan hotel. Itu semua sediain realnya dan kopiannya juga gitu, karena nanti sama pihak yang ngecek itu dicek, oh ini orinya, ini kopiannya, dan yang diambil sama mereka hanya kopiannya aja gitu. Realnya pasti dibalikin lah ya, kita kan butuh akte dan butuh kakak juga. And then next, what we have to do when we arrive in Italy?
Report your arrival to the embassy.
Okay.
In Italy, the only embassy is in Rome, Indonesian embassy.
Previously there's one in Milan ya.
Yeah, but no more. Closed.
Yeah. And then? Jadi setelah kita sampai di sini, hal pertama yang harus kita lakukan adalah laporkan kedatangan kalian ke kedubes Indonesia yang ada di Italia. Jadi kedubesnya itu cuma ada di Roma, dulu ada di Milan tapi udah ditutup, udah nggak ada lagi, nggak beroperasi lagi, kurang tahu juga kenapa. Itu kita bisa lapor kedatangan kita dari webnya embassy, webnya KBRI. Nanti aku kasih linknya di deskripsi. Terus kalau misalnya kita udah isi form kita udah report our arrival, nanti mereka akan kasih form gitu. Kita isi formnya, terus kayak makan waktu 2-3 hari gitu, kedatangan kita akan dikonfirmasi, oke, kamu udah nyampe di Itali dan kamu udah ke-record di embassy bahwa kamu sekarang ada di Italia. Why you have to report your arrival to the embassy is because if just in case, amit-amit sekali lagi, something happen, like something bad happen to you, the embassy can cover you up, like give you support or help you with your case that happened here gitu. Makanya itu pentingnya kamu melaporkan kedatangan kamu ke kedutaan besar, seperti itu kira-kira. Terus kalau misalnya kedatangan kamu itu udah dikonfirmasi sama embassy, kamu bisa telepon nih. Nanti nomor teleponnya ada ya di website itu, nomor telepon embassy. Kamu telepon, bilang kalau kamu mau bikin nula osta untuk pernikahan gitu. Terus tanya mereka bukanya jam berapa, ada waktunya kapan, apakah bisa datang kapan aja. Pokoknya better make an appointment before you go there gitu, karena sometimes they're closed ya.
For holiday or something like that.
Because in Italy there are so many celebration and day off, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so many, but
Gitu, karena di sini tuh banyak hari liburnya gitu. Jadi lebih baik kalian telepon dulu, make an appointment, terus baru datang ke embassy. Bawa semua dokumen tadi yang udah kalian siapin dari Indonesia, yang sudah ditranslate tadi dan sudah dilegalisir, yang izin orang tua dan segala macamnya itu bawa semua ke sana. Terus, nah, before you go there, it will be better if you make the copy for all the documents. Kayak tadi yang izin orang tua dan lain-lain itu, kalian fotokopi dulu. Because the embassy will only take the copy. They will only match the real one with the copy and take only the copy. But the problem is, if you don't copy this first, you will spend most of your time just to search for the photocopy service, and it's pretty difficult in Rome.
because not usual here to do copy outside.
Karena di sini nggak terlalu umum jasa fotokopi itu, jadi kalian bakal banyak buang waktu sih di Roma gitu. Jadi lebih baik kalian fotokopi dulu sebelum kalian ke sana. And then you also need to prepare your photograph both, but separately. Kayak foto kalian sendiri, foto calon suami sendiri, right? The size 3x4 or 4x6? Didn't really remember.
3x4.
3x4 ya.
Normal for ID card, normal standard.
Jadi sediain juga foto diri masing-masing terpisah. Aku kurang ingat deh ukurannya, kayaknya kalau nggak salah 3x4. Dan itu foto juga mendingan, if you want a good result of photograph, better do way before, okay? So you can do it at the valid photo studio, or instead you can do in a fototessera, kayak photo box gitu. There are so many fototessera in Italia, but you have to be ready for the result. Soalnya muka gue udah kayak buronan, I look like the most wanted person in the world, right?
Also because we look for that for so long, so
We already tired.
so tired,
And then I take the photograph like the most wanted criminal. Like that. So basically not so complicated, just the documents that you already prepare from Indonesia and photograph of you and your couple. and then the copy of all of those documents. Then you can submit them to the embassy. Then you have to wait like 10 working days,
More or less, yeah.
more or less. 2 weeks ya. Oke, jadi kalian harus menunggu kurang lebih 10 hari kerja, jadi 2 mingguan lah, untuk si Nula Osta ini ready. Dan itu pun after the Nula Osta is ready, they will not send to you, they will only contact you like your Nula Osta is ready, you can take it directly here, or you can order a courier to take it. And yeah, actually that's easy, right?
Yeah.
There are so many courier and delivery service.
Yeah.
So you
Door
can
to door.
door to door also. So you can organize to take the Nula Osta with the courier service.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. And then you will get the Nula Osta after some days later, depending on the courier. Okay, and then after you got the Nula Osta, you go
You have to bring to prefectura. It's a
and
kind of police station, police office. That they will authenticate the signature on that, the signature of the
embassy.
embassy. To say,
So we cannot fake the
yeah,
documents.
exactly. To prove the authenticity.
How long it's gonna be?
More or less 1 week, because usually it's open for the public only 1 day per week. So 1 day you bring, and the next week you can take normally.
Begitu, jadi kalian ke prefektura, ada namanya prefektura, itu kayak kantor polisi yang ngurus legalisir dokumen Nula Osta ini. Jadi dia cek bahwa itu beneran tanda tangan dari embassy atau bukan, cap dari embassy atau bukan, biar nggak bisa dipalsuin. Terus prefektura itu bukanya cuma seminggu sekali gitu. Jadi waktu itu aku case-nya adalah aku kesana Kamis, ternyata prefekturanya bukanya cuma Rabu, jadi terpaksa minggu depan aku kesana, hari Rabunya kasih Nula Ostanya, terus minggu depannya lagi baru bisa diambil di hari Rabu, jadi lama banget. We took so long because we go there like on Thursday and then we back on Wednesday just to give, and the next Wednesday to take. You can.
Yeah.
So better call before or go there and ask their schedule or what for the prefectura.
No, actually you don't need an appointment.
Okay.
It's enough to go there better early morning, because there will be a queue. But no need the appointment anyway.
Gitu. Okay. Then after the Nula Osta is authenticate,
You have to go to the municipal, where you have the residence from
like where you live,
where you live.
based on your identity.
Yeah.
Okay. And what you have to bring to the municipal? Only Nula Osta or
No, of course you have to bring Osta, ID card of both, birth of certificate of birth of both, and the certificate for the marriage status,
okay.
to prove that your status is free, single.
Oke. Jadi habis itu kalian ke kantor catatan sipil yang ada di Italia, namanya Municipio. Right? Municipio. Sorry. The name is Municipio. You have to go there and bring the Nula Osta that already authenticate, your ID, your single status, your birth certificate. That's all. And then
Then they will check all the documents and make the publication. So they will attach near the municipal the intent of wedding.
What's the
Okay.
purpose?
To let all the people know that you want to marry.
Okay, and in case there's any objection.
Yeah, normally no objection, but in case you cannot marry until you prove that
You really have the rights
yeah,
to be
that
married. Who knows, you think or you say you are single, but then there's still someone else attached to you.
mm,
So by the publication, people will know that you will get married. In case there's any objection, amit-amit, or anything wrong, that how to say, that make your marriage not legal. So better do the publication. And how long?
the publication lasts for 8 days.
Okay.
But 8 days with 2 Sunday in the
Okay.
middle, so could be like 2 weeks.
So for example, like if you submit the documents on Tuesday, the publication will start on this Wednesday until the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, for 2 weeks.
But if you submit the documents on Friday, it will last like shorter, right?
Yeah, till the next Monday or
Oke. Jadi waktu publikasinya itu berdasarkan pokoknya intinya 8 hari tapi meliputi 2 kali weekend gitu. Jadi misalnya kalian submit atau kirim dokumennya itu pas hari Jumat, otomatis lebih cepat daripada kalau kalian submit dokumennya itu kayak hari Selasa atau hari Rabu gitu. Karena kan 2 kali weekend. Nanti kan gimana ya, dari Selasa ke Sabtu lagi, ke Minggu lagi, sama Jumat ke Minggu kan cepet nih, ke Minggu lagi juga cuma berapa hari gitu. Jadi basically cuma 8 hari tapi 2 kali weekend.
Then, if there's no objection, of course, you can back to the municipal and fix the date of the marriage according to the mayor appointment.
Okay. So the one who will help you in the marriage is the city major.
Yeah, to celebrate, the one that will celebrate your marriage.
Ya. Jadi kalau nggak ada sanggahan atau berdasarkan publikasi itu nggak ada masalah, kalian legal untuk nikah, kalian balik lagi nih ke catatan sipil, terus tentuin tanggal, nih kira-kira mau nikahnya di tanggal berapa. Terus nanti mereka akan cocokin jadwal. The municipal staff will match the schedule, right?
Yeah,
Between the date that we choose and the schedule of the city mayor.
yeah.
Jadi nanti dari pihak catatan sipil bakalan cocokin tanggal dari tanggal yang kita pilih sama jadwalnya si wali kota. Karena yang akan nikahkan kita secara sah itu wali kota langsung ya, wali kota dari tempat kita tinggal. Tempat tinggal sama tempat domisili. What's the difference domisili and residenza?
Domicili is where you live.
Okay.
Residenza is where is your fiscal home, the one that also reported on your ID card.
Okay. Jadi gini.
So different.
Okay. Like me, I stay in a city in Como, province of Como. But my residence or his residence is in Mantova, in a city in Mantova. So the marriage supposed to be held in Mantova, not in Como, right?
Yeah.
Jadi pastiin kalian siapin semuanya dengan baik, karena kalau case-nya kayak aku tuh harus bolak-balik. dari sini ke Mantova gitu, dan itu lama gitu. Jadi ya harus luangin waktu juga sih, because we live a little bit far, so we have to spend so long, and sometimes he's working, and you know when you can take a day off and take care of this, so better you prepare everything very well and give extra time only to take care of this. Seperti itu kira-kira. Okay. Next. Then after that get married.
Finally you can get married.
After that long you can get married,
and like the day after you can already ask for the certificate of marriage.
But that's not make me legal here yet.
No. That only prove your marriage.
Okay.
But it's not finished yet.
Don't worry, the journey is still so long. You have to be patient. So after you get the certificate of marriage, what you have to do?
You have to start for asking your permit to stay.
Okay.
Because your visa will expire soon.
Yeah.
So you need a permit to continue to stay here. Or you should back to Indonesia and come back with a new visa. And to do that you have to go to Questura.
What is Questura?
Same kind of police office.
But it take care only for staying permit.
Yeah, only for staying permit.
Or immigration, yeah.
Yeah, you have to go to the immigration office for that.
And then?
And you have to bring your ID, your photos, certificate of marriage. I should bring the tax report, the declaration of my income, and they will do a little interview to you, right?
Yeah, and
Fingerprint, yeah. So you can proceed to asking for the permit to stay for family reason.
And
Family
usually
purpose.
it's valid for 5 years, usually. And after that, you will not directly get the staying permit. You will get the receipt first. The name is Ricevuta. With the Ricevuta, you are able to travel around Europe. So it's like a temporary staying permit, actually.
It's just to prove that you start to ask for the permit.
But not ready yet.
But
even though you have Ricevuta, I don't suggest you to use that Ricevuta to travel back to Indonesia. Actually, the immigration officer at the airport will allow you. Wait, I'm gonna close this. Actually, the immigration officer at the airport will allow you to enter anyway in Milan. But the problem is the procedure before your flight and during your transit will be so difficult. So better before your permesso di soggiorno ready or carta d'identità ready, better not going back to Indonesia. But if you wanna travel to Europe, it's okay.
Europe, yeah.
Still okay. And then what's next? After you have Ricevuta,
You have to wait till your permit is ready.
how long?
Actually, depend. Because sometimes just 1 month, sometimes 1 year. So
Like in my case,
yeah.
it's 1 year. I have to wait. And at the Ricevuta, there's a code that you can use to track the availability of your permesso di soggiorno, right?
To check online if it is ready or not.
because usually it's so difficult also to make a call. Yeah, but different questura, different condition, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not every questura like that, but based on our experiences, it's like that. So difficult to call, and so you need the code and better track down on the website directly, so you will know if it's ready or no. And then to take the permiso, you have to make the appointment, right? Also.
Better to make the appointment when you go there to take, so you can also avoid the queue like that.
Yep. Exactly like that. And then with the staying permit, you have almost all the rights as Italian citizen. Yeah, kan?
Yeah.
Like you will have codice fiscale or fiscal code, and with that you can use
The government assurance for health.
And what else? Like if you have codice fiscale, you can also apply for any jobs, because some recruiters
Some request that, like to prove that you have an assurance.
or have the rights to work in Italy.
Yeah.
Like that. And I suggest you to report also your marriage when you go back to Indonesia. You can go to the municipal there and report that I already married in Italy. Bring also the marriage certificate, both or your ID and photos. Itu loh foto barengan sebelah-sebelahan itu yang di Indonesia. The photograph of the couple side by side, more or less like that. I forget a little that after you have the staying permit or permesso di soggiorno, it's not finished yet. You have to go back to the municipal.
Yeah.
And then
Ask for ID card.
yeah, it's
So
like
Italian ID card.
actually why we have to have permesso di soggiorno and carta d'identità.
Because on carta d'identità is explain better your address, where you will live.
Gitu. And permesso di soggiorno is more like visa, right?
Yeah.
Jadi kalau misalnya nih kalian udah dapat staying permit atau visa residennya, kalian pergi lagi ke catatan sipil sekali lagi untuk bikin kartu identitas. Jadi dapat kayak semacam KTP Itali gitu. Tapi itu bukan berarti kalian jadi WNA ya, bukan langsung jadi warga negara sini gitu, enggak. Itu ada lagi prosesnya. But even though you have carta d'identità doesn't mean you directly become Italian citizen, right?
No.
Like my citizenship still Indonesian.
Yeah.
Seperti itu. Jadi walaupun udah punya KTP sini, kita belum tentu pindah kewarganegaraan. Dan biasanya kalau di airport itu kalau di Indonesia lebih familiar dengan si karta identitas ini daripada sama permesso soggiorno. Tapi ya anyway dua-duanya valid ya, mau dibawa kemanapun bisa gitu. Actually that's it, but we have some notes, right? We have some notes atau sekedar catatan yang harus kalian perhatikan. Like before you do all the process, you have to notice that it can take so long, right? Maybe 1 month or more, right?
For sure more.
For that, right when you arrive in Italy, better directly contact the embassy and so on, so it can be faster. And you have to pay attention that you have limit on your visa. Like mine, it was 3 months.
Yeah.
Some people have only 1 month. So better you do it very quickly. We didn't do very quickly because I was sick when I arrived here. Right.
Not only that, that we live far from
Rome also.
Rome, so
Yeah. Especially if you live far from Rome, you have to, you have to organize your time, your plan very well, because to go to Rome will take time, to submit the documents will take time, and to wait the nulla osta to be ready will take time. So better you do it very quickly as possible. And then if you plan to work here after you move, it's better for you to mastering Italian language before you move, right? Because even though you can speak English, not so much Italian can speak English, right?
yeah, and especially in a company, they request anyway the knowledge of Italian.
Yeah, like that. So if you plan to work here, better you already able to speak Italian. At least the basic conversation. More or less like that. Is there anything you wanna add?
No, nothing.
Just in case I forget. So that's it. That's all. Everything you need to know before you move here to Italy and marry Italian. How do you think? Is it complicated or it's a piece of cake? Actually, I didn't know how if we married in Indonesia will be more complicated than this or no. I mean, when we do it, how it's gonna be, we don't really know that. Or if you have any experiences regarding to mixed marriage or the bureaucracy in other country about the marriage, about the mixed marriage, don't hesitate to drop your comments below, because we would like to know, or we would like to gather more information from other countries also. Seperti itu.
Well,
Like that.
okay.
So this is it. See you next time with another information. Don't forget to leave your comment and suggest us about what we're supposed to talk next or what you want to know. Okay? So that's it and ciao.
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 Ci vediamo alla prossima.
Alla prossima.